Alrighty guys, welcome. Oh, how are we all doing today? Good morning, good afternoon as always, or good evening. Let me try guys, say good day. Hope you're all doing well. Good start to the month, good start to the week yesterday. Looking forward to another big day today, moving forward on the charts. yeah, so we'll see what we can come up with. Obviously, let's have a look in news to begin, see if there is there is anything going on in regards to news during our session. Appears to be quite clean. I mean, it's PMI to come for the euro and the pound, which probably be considered a little bit more than yellow oil news, but Forex factory, who knows. So that might be something to keep a bit of an eye on. Otherwise, moving forward, we've got gold's openings for the US dollar later today, moving forward into New York session. I hope you've all had a good week, a good start to the month. And without further ado, I will get underway with the analysis. Hopefully we'll get a few more on board. If you guys could, make sure to smash the like button so everyone knows we are live. So they know where it's at, because we are by far and away, as far as consistency, as far as education, I have no doubt this is the #1 stream. Irrespective of the numbers, I know we don't get as many as some of the others, for whatever reason. Probably because I'm a new stream, but eventually the tables will turn once people see. I have no doubt. Anyway, so let's start with GJ. Looking at GJ and looking at the weekly. So I know today's Wednesday, isn't it? I know it's midweek. And usually I wouldn't change my bias on the weekly candle itself until around NY today, or unless we have an engulfing candle. However, the strength of the current candle to the downside would suggest to me that, I mean, as what I'd be looking for, potential levels to pull back, maybe sell it from. The rejection on this weekly candle is very strong. We're approaching a lot of that previous weekly candle, so I'm actually going to call it strong bearish at the moment based off the current weekly. Daily, so irrespective of that, what we can see is the daily is at a very strong level of support. We are still technically bearish as well on the daily time frame. Previous daily candle as well. We are looking at GJ's. Whatever reason, I thought we were looking at gold for a second. Previous daily candle did close back a strong bearish candle, but we are at that high level, a strong level of support. So what I'm going to do is mark in the current daily candles high. Seeing we are at that strong level of support, I'm going to see what we've got above it. And again, it's going to be also a 4-hour level of support. So it is a level that price potentially could bounce off in order to continue to the upside. But technically, structure wise, we are bearish on the daily time frame. Onto the 4-hour, what we can see based on that structure itself appears to have, well, it's still bearish from this big impulse to the downside. We have now created a lower low. Very tricky area of price action though, because tapped into a bit of support here to the left, sort of hovering between a previous support and the support at the lows here. Yeah, I'm gonna mark it in, but to be honest, I'm not gonna be selling it below the current daily candles low. I just don't feel it's gonna be a likely option because you're selling it right into support. As far as resistance, I mean, I'm just gonna mark in that level for the time being, see what we've got once we go down to the M30. We know structure wise we are bearish, but again, we are at a very strong level of support. So even though the bias based off the 3 time frames I've already analyzed, we know it's actually bearish. The bias, irrespective of the 30-minute structure, it's bearish. Doesn't mean I'm going to necessarily want to sell it because we're at a very key level, strong level of support. Now onto the 30-minute time frame, and that also is bearish. So the bias across the board is bearish, but it's just at a very awkward level, to be honest, on GJ. It's at a very strong level of support, which is going to make it very difficult for me to sell upon continuation. So what I mean by that is, what I prefer to do at this point is to look to see where potentially price could pull back to within the current daily candle itself. We've got this level here, which is the high of the current daily candle, and if we do respect that level, then I'd be looking for a potential option for a sell to take it back down. So long as we make a relatively clean move back up towards that 190.80, look for rejection, look for a catalyst to form within price action, and then I can begin to plan to sell it. So sells below 190, 190, 70, 80, that type of area. Now I'm not going to be looking for buys above I mean, you could really just drag this. I'm just marking this in because it's the most recent area price action. But if we pull back further, then 191.20 roughly, anywhere below that, I would also look for a potential sell. But be awaiting a catalyst. So if price does just begin to pull back up and pop through this 198.80 roughly, I'm not going to be buying it. I'm going to be waiting to see how it reacts to 191.08 sorry, to 191.190 roughly. And if we reject that level there, I can also look for a potential sell option on GJ. Now, aside from that, buys, when do they become a valid option? Well, above that point, we're flipping structure bullish. So above 191.20, we'll have confirmation of closure above on the M30 of the structure flipping bullish. Not only that, we've got some pretty clean traffic to the left. I can now just drag this zone up. Got some clean traffic on the M30. Just use that level there. So what I would be looking for is, in regards to the buys, is just a solid closure above that point there, retest, continuation, and that would validate a buy option. And that is pretty much it. I may consider buys from lower down, just considering the strong level it's at. Obviously it's a strong 4-hour and daily level of support. So if we did pop back down a little bit further, tap into the lows of that support, then again I can await a catalyst in price action for a potential buy option from lower down. Irrespective of the structure being bearish, the buys being bearish, it just makes sense to buy from support as opposed to sell into it. And to the left, below the lows, I mean, if and when the time comes, we'll reassess again, but at the moment we're pretty far off it. Not only that, there's some pretty heavy traffic to the left, so I think I have to wait for a clean impulse below. So that is GJ. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. If it did, you guys know what to do. Please hit that like button for me. Do your man a favor, and we will get cracking moving on to have a look at gold. All right, so we can start with the weekly once again, and what we can see is current weekly is pulling back a bit. It is still forming, obviously, bearish candle, lower high, lower low to the previous candle. Tapped into some resistance and rejected that over here to the left hand side, but we are bearish on a weekly. Daily, structure wise, we do remain bullish in structure. Once again, we're still hovering around that resistance and above the support here, 24,840. 2500 flat though is a very key level that we at the moment keep projecting, so, and remain below. Long wick to the downside on the previous candle, once again tapping into the previous resistance. Difficult to know what to make of that. If we begin to break the previous daily candle's high and the candle beside that, there's a high probability we'll continue to the upside, but we are technically bullish in structure on the daily time frame. Counter probabilities to the downside. Very little volume within the current daily candle. What we can see is the 4-hour is exhausting at a previous support. The structure wise, has it flipped? No, it's not. Still bullish. It's not closed below its lowest point. So therefore, we are technically still bullish on 4-hour as well. However, what we can see is showing signs of exhaustion at resistance, which was previous support here to the left hand side. We've formed a enclosed, pretty much a hammer candle in the previous candle. Zone of support, yes, it's a huge one, but I'll adjust that on the M30 accordingly. But based off that, we're definitely at a level where we could begin to plan for potential sell options. Let me just adjust this zone slightly. So that's the 4-hour resistance as far as support. I'm gonna leave it at that for the time being. All right. Now I could really drag this up, this resistance. It's not a good level to be buying gold at, in all honesty. So first of all, let's plan for the sells, guys. So what we've got is support within the current daily candle at this point here, around that 24.92 to 24.91.30. So now we're just essentially consolidating. There's very little direction with price action. There's very little volume. There's no sustained move. So what I'd like to see is just now price start to close below 24.91.50 roughly, reject, and look for a potential sell upon continuation below that support. That to me will be at the moment the best option. We are technically bearish on the 30-minute time frame. That's the only time frame, and the weekly. Sorry, so the bias is neutral. Based off that, I am preferring the sells at the moment though. Now I'll just leave it at that. We will reassess the buy options if price does begin to drop and we tap into any of these levels of support. If we do so and provide our catalyst within price action, or we get our signal, sorry, within price action, then we potentially can also look for a buy, guys. So I'm not discounting the buys at the moment, but I would prefer the sells. As far as buys above the high, needs to really create a clean move to cut through these wicks to the left, pull back, form support, and that's when I start to trust the buy options at this stage. So I prefer the sells on gold. Remove that for the time being. That's the media range. I'll just leave it at that. Could we get buy options from this support? Potentially, guys. Looks like we've got a bit decent margin, and the good thing is right now, current move to the downside, I would like for it to actually continue, to be honest, to tap into this support. Nice clean candles. What it's done is it started to open up this area of traffic, this area which was just consolidating before. It's clean move down. Now if it's met by support and we get the signal within price action, then we potentially look for a buy. So those signals, for those of you who are joining on the regular, will know exactly what I mean by that, such as engulfing candles, a little bit of minor resistance, if price breaks above the minor resistance, so on and so forth. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then pay attention moving forward. So that is pretty much it on gold. I will consider the buys above the current support. Bias is neutral. And anything else for the time being, we'll reassess if and when the time comes. Once again, hopefully that makes sense. Please hit like button. We need more on the stream. Everyone needs to know where it's at. So the members going to you guys. YouTube, sexy, morning mate. Blast, morning mate. Brad, hope you're well. Yeah, all good. Been having trouble sleeping the last few nights, to be honest. So a tiny bit of a not really a sore throat, just a dry. Feels very dry all the time. I can be good morning to you, brother. Tony, Grand Rising to you, Carl. Morning as always, appreciate you. There's GJ in gold. I've just done some analysis. What I'd be doing now, G, is just dragging this up. So the analysis initially when I sent into the members group was that candle was waiting to see if it was closing weak bearish, this M30. And I mentioned if it did so, there could be potential buys above, which it hasn't quite broken the high of, so there wouldn't have been an entry. So what I'd be doing just now is just dragging this up. That's your new range on GU. I'll be looking for buys from the support as well. It looks like we may have the margin for it now, potentially. If that was to be the case, we really want to see a nice clean move down right now. Don't want it to start bouncing all over the place, because then it prints barcodes and makes it difficult to trade within. What's the deal with this morning, and what's today, guys? Anyone in any trades so far? Oh, nothing at the moment. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, GJ to me looks pretty ordinary. Gold potentially. So I feel the focus will be on gold. Had a really good NY session yesterday with the members, and it was really way too bugged to stream on YouTube. There was no trades taken, but it was just some good good education. Could have a chat to everyone as well. I am meaning to stream by NY at some point, maybe today. It's just I play it by ear, see how I feel. Could be a good thing for the stream though, so anything's got to help, because the numbers, even though we just keep getting better and better, and the numbers keep getting lower and lower, I have no idea how it works, to be honest, because I could not be trading any better. I don't think I could provide any better education. But numbers just continue to drop. Isn't good. We're just waiting on gold now. See see how it closes. There could be options. The 15-minute is about to close. So for the buyers, I mean, what would validate an entry is pretty much an engulfing candle in the next M15. For the sells, closures below will validate an entry. I'm not going to take it based off the 15-minute. Guys, if you could please hit the like button. It's not that difficult. You can just take not even 2 seconds, 1 second out of your time. Just hit that like button first. It really does help. One of the only ways to get people on the stream. Michelle, good morning to you, mate. Yeah, we definitely, sorry to point you out, mate, but that trade, if you don't mind, trying to hold you accountable. To be honest, I was a bit disappointed when I saw this. Very disappointed. Feels like to me you must have been sitting on the charts and you probably tried to justify something or something that really wasn't there. What you did was you basically, I mean, that's not even a strong closure, to be honest, out of consolidation. Plus it's got a long upper wick, but you've totally ignored what was here to the left. You had a resistance. So I mean, one thing to the upside, you've tapped into the target. There is no margin, there is no buys, the target's been hit. Not only that, you got wicks to the left, resistance. Need to wait for that clean move, pull back, support. As hard as it is sometimes, because it means you're gonna have to sit and wait longer and longer. Trust me, it works. And again, I'm a boring trader. People don't like it, they go to other streams because they're taking 15 trades a day. But I'll teach you how to trade that you can actually golf by yourself, and you can become consistent and profitable if you just follow it, if you just be patient with it all. You don't need, like I always stress, you don't need to trade 5 times a day. Guarantee you guys, I can trade 3-4 times a week, 5 times a week, and make better gains and than most of the other good traders, because I don't put as much stress on my capital. I only take quality entries. The record is phenomenal. You guys see it.
Hi Justin.
G'day, mate.
Hey.
So I hope you understood.
Yep.
You know, I'm just trying to hold you accountable, because I see it, and especially you guys, because you guys are the VIP. I don't want you guys to. I understand you're gonna make errors, but I'm gonna pull you up on it when you do. That's my responsibility. So
I just know what that makes perfect sense. I was just looking at, you know, the previous candles not breaking the high, so I thought, okay, it broke the high, so it must be going up. I wasn't giving any attention to that it already tapped target, so it's my mistake. Learning, yeah.
And it happens, to be honest, mate. It happens. I've done it on stream one time when I took a loss and I realized that I was tapped into a target. I don't forget these errors. I totally ignored that it tapped into a target. That was months ago. But yeah, so long as you're wary of it. But even that candle itself, it's not really convincing. If it closed up near its high and we had clean traps to the left, then I understand it for sure. But the fact of the matter is, it's closed just above it, got a long wick to the upside, tapped into the resistance, or it's at resistance. Does absolutely nothing for me to want to buy it, to be honest. But yeah, as long as you're wary of it.
Yeah, it's clear now, so I don't think I'll be making this mistake moving forward.
Nice one. That's what I want to hear. Just makes you more conscious of it. That's a good thing when you make these sort of mistakes. That's all we do. We learn. I know you're still quite new in your journey as well.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So you're gonna have those moments. We all do it. But yeah, but what I'm trying to do is just make you weary of your error, so we can try to limit it from happening again.
Yeah.
Nice one, mate. Big Daddy, Day's life. Good morning to you. Always here every stream. Nice one. Appreciate you. Appreciate it, mate. I really do. Quality over quantity. That's it. That's what I preach. Again, it might not be the most exciting, but it's just what works for me. So I'm not gonna, you know, for the sake of it, just to please people who are looking for signals all the time. I'm not gonna just call 15 trades a stream. You can go watch the dude who wears the mask. He won't show his face. Just to wear a mask. Took a 50 pip loss on gold yesterday. I had a look. People don't know how to manage risk, would have blown their account probably. 50 pip loss on gold. I don't teach you guys that crap.
How was your day otherwise, Justin?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. Just got a bit going on. Did manage to go to the gym, which is good.
Yep.
Definitely helps. That was not long ago to me. I just got back about half an hour ago. About 40 minutes before the stream. I was a little bit of a rush to get things prepped. The analysis and that was a little bit late today. A little bit VIP. But otherwise, how about you, mate?
So actually, my friend's wedding today evening. Yeah, so he's in college. We studied together in college, so I have to attend his wedding today.
Oh, okay.
I have another friend's wedding also this weekend, so back-to-back wedding season actually.
The busy man.
Yeah.
Hope they're making the right decision.
Yeah.
The massive commitment.
Yeah. One is love marriage and one is arranged. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think like in Asia, or in Indian culture, arranged marriage is more of a thing
More
that
common.
happens.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Not so much here.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they're my good friends though.
Well, that's it, mate. It's good to be there for them as well, and why not? And enjoy, celebrate.
Yep.
Big Daddy, 50 pip loss is crazy. Yeah, he was copying a bit of shit as well. But if he was copying shit, then the people who took the trade obviously were over leveraged or how to manage it as well. It's not his fault. But still, I mean, he may call a shit ton of trades, but if you don't know how to manage them, one loss will destroy everything. That's why people just don't know where it's at a lot of the time. It's frustrating because I really feel I could teach in a lot better fashion that's a lot more sustainable, like I say, moving forward when people are trading by themselves. Like right now, there's no FOMO. It's not my trade on gold. The amount of times I would have seen this, it's coming from above support, ag you in, pop back up, close within the range. It happened on NAS yesterday on during the MY call with the members. Melissa, I'm sure she won't mind me saying it, she admits she's had problems with FOMO sometimes, especially on NAS, because this sounds like one of those school books, the little questions that you have in primary school. Melissa has issues with FOMO. So in this situation, what should she do? Well, anyway, what was happening? The 15-minute. Once again, it was just consolidating. 15-minute, that was the strongest confirmation, but to me, I said it's still consolidating. Yes, it's closed above that resistance, but it's nothing to prove to me it's ready to continue. And it's 15-minute, 30-minute, nothing closed above that minor resistance. So I said, look, for me, no entry, absolutely no entry whatsoever until the 30-minute closed, and then I'd consider it. And she's gotten a lot better with that. She agreed, didn't take the entry. Look what happened afterwards. It melted. So same thing on gold right now. Yes, it could make the move, and I'm happy if it does. There's nothing I can do about it. But the amount of times I see it would have rejected, I know better than to just react because I feel like I might miss the move. DJ is an absolute mess at the moment. Big day or up, take no trades and walk away with loss. Yeah, exactly. Market's moving kind of slow. Yeah, gold's got a bit of volume. It's just, is it going to close below right now? That's the issue. That's what I need to wait for. GJ is just an absolute fun moment. Just consolidating. No volume on it at all. It's really all about gold right now. What I really like to see, again, markets do whatever they want, but as far as a really nice catalyst for me is if this candle actually pulls back right now, to actually retest that zone, only to close maybe a weak bullish on the 5-minute, and that's still going to close the M30 below that zone. Then all I need to wait for is a bit of an upper wick. Well, it's obviously the wrong color. Bit of an upper wick as price begins to break the low of the M30. That could be the entry, but right now it looks like it might not be doing that. Now the other option is the limit order, so long as price doesn't tap into target. Target is 28.90 roughly, 28.9.3. We have created a nice clean move, so there is a bit of volume right now on gold. So right now, potentially we could be looking for some limit order sells on gold. Now, in order for that to be valid, it has to close minimum about 8 pips below of that bullish candle, the support. Today, gold looking nice. It's definitely starting to look a lot nicer. So, about 2490.58 roughly is where we want price to close below for the limit order to be valid. We don't want to keep pushing too far though, because then it would have tapped into target. It's okay, as long as it doesn't tap into the target, really. But if it closes too far below, then it's going to create too big of an upper wick, and it's likely not going to do that. Plus, sells upon continuation is just not going to be there. So at this rate, it looks like we may have to wait, and it could be now, it could be planning for the buys instead, seeing we're about to tap into a support, which is all good. It's not a drama at all. There's no FOMO. It wasn't my trade to be had. It's not within my playbook. It's not something I'm familiar with, so I just don't enter. Big Daddy, been watching, following since Top Capital Group. Oh, nice one. Appreciate it. Yeah, obviously it's a pretty big change of scenery and everything. But I did enjoy my time there as well. Yeah, so gold, it's not going to be valid at the moment. It's way too far below. And it looks like it's about to tap into the target anyway. Yeah, no lower wick as well. Open with a bit of a gap to the downside. It's tapped into support just now. There is no entry for me on gold. So it's alright. We had a plan, it just didn't eventuate. So now what I'm going to do is, we're at this support. Options now are likely going to be pull back for rejection to sell it, or await a potential catalyst from support to buy it. That's the new options. That's what we do. Reassess, counter print, other prints, we reassess. Not gonna lie, there's been so much drama in the Forex industry. Has been a shit ton, to be honest, and it's quite disappointing. Very disappointing. And if gold continues to drop, the next level of support is a potential level that we could be looking at for buy options and sells, because it's quite clean below that next level. What broker am I using? IC markets. Yeah, still IC markets. I did open an account on Blueberry, but I never funded it. Alright, so perhaps now we're going to have a look at this range. So, alright, 15 minutes clean as well. So, as you guys know, that's, to me, bearish candles at support. Not so bothered by the lows of that, the wicks of those bearish candles, even if it is lowest point. Reason being, bearish candles obviously confirm resistance, not support. So what I'm more concerned about is the lowest point of any bullish candle at that level, which is this 30-minute just here. So now I'm just going to drag this down. I'm going to remove that zone. And now this is the level I would be considering my buys from. And we can also look for potential sells from that point. Clean to the left. Now the only issue is, and it's about being comfortable in a trade, guys. We've moved over 100 pips already. I want to see some sort of exhaustion before I look to enter sell below this support. Whether it be in a 15-minute weak bullish pause or something like that, or even a little pullback, it's I just want to see some sort of exhaustion. I don't want to just sell it on continuation after it's already pushed over 100 pips. You've been using IC markets for almost 2 years. Glad you didn't fund your account at Blueberry. Is there an issue with it? Because I know obviously what happened with Donvo and that, but is it something to do with Blueberry as well? I have no idea. I'm not aware of are they dodgy, are they? Blueberry. I was so close to it, believe me. I had the page open and everything. I was about to fund it. Really close to funding it. I don't remember why I didn't. I think I just got distracted. Thought, nah, forget it. I'll just do it next time. IC markets, you never have a problem. Your cash is safe on IC markets. I wonder as well. Never gonna have an issue with those brokers. They're dodging. Yeah. Alright, so it's bouncing off this support. Yeah, IC markets is just a solid broker. You're not gonna have issues with IC markets. And the good thing is I'm being slipped for ages now for on, you know, jinx it, but past 3 or 4 months I don't get slipped anymore, which is great. No wonder are really good, but the issue with wonder is the spreads aren't great, even on raw spread accounts. So for a scalper, it's not really a good thing, is it? I think the spreads on gold on a raw spread account, you're still looking at, for the most part, 2+ pips, 2 to 3 pips. DJ was about 2. Gold, lots of volume. Look at that rejection of that support lower now. I see markets way better spreads. They have the best spreads. Better commissions too. Yeah, spreads are unreal. I mean, on gold right now, I've got, it's actually quite wide at the moment, and it's a pip. It might sound funny, but for the most part, it's around half a pip. It's between 0.5 and 1 pip. That's what it is. That's really good spread. GJ is right now 2 points, between 1 and 5. 1 and 5 points. The half pip. That's, I get better than that. As a scalper, you want to get in the best possible price, especially when you're, you know, targeting 10 pips or so. Not everyone does, but that's generally my first TP. JJ is just trash. With indices, no commissions and low spreads. Yeah, you can't go wrong, can you? Wasn't aware of that, but Sorry guys, Zoom. I just saw some of the messages. Luke, doing great. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Jacob, can I show us what we'd be looking for if we buy it? What, gold or?
Yeah, go.
Gold. Well, at the moment, I'd want it to preferably break that clean move down, continue towards that support. And at this stage, because of the volume in this approach to the support, because it's a strong one, if this candle's close strong bearish, then I know what I'm going to need to see is the bullish engulfing. If I was to get that, there's going to be issues there because stop loss can be too big, and plus you're going to have to be a little bit concerned about price rejecting that zone as just broken of support. What I probably need to see is there's a few options. I mean, one would be first 15 minutes closes pretty strong bullish, followed by maybe a weak bearish pause at the support. Still going to close the M30 back a bullish candle, and as price breaks the high of that bearish candle on the following M30, that might be enough. So if we break a minor resistance, there's a high probability we'll head up back up to the next level, which could be that previous support could act as resistance. Or otherwise, if we know, seeing if it does close back bearish, if we were to continue bearish, don't really have much of a need to break the high of that candle, and likely just head back down towards the support again. So that's what I prefer to see. There are a few other options though. For instance, if the next 15 minutes, the new M30 closes back another bearish candle, and it's only to be followed by second M15 closing bullish engulfing, what that's going to do is going to leave the M30 looking somewhat like so, liquidity candle long wick to the downside, closing back up near its high. That would also provide a catalyst on the following M30 for a potential buy option. So there's a few different things we can plan for, but as far as that's our catalyst, that type of scenario. The other scenario is the engulfing candles, but again, you just got to weigh up each situation. In this case, the strength of the approach, if it was to close like so, it's too strong of a candle closure to even worry about the engulfing, because even if you did get the engulfing, stop loss is going to be huge, plus there's no real margin to potentially retest that support. Hopefully that makes sense, mate.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
All good, bro. Big Daddy? Yeah, now I trade only gold NAS and USD. Oh, okay, US30. NAS had a massive sell in US30 as well. Big sell off yesterday. Not sure what that was off the back of. Bitcoin as well had a pretty strong sell off, as the gold and silver as well. So we'll keep focused on gold, seeing that is closer, much closer than GJ for any potential entry. If you could, guys, please once again hit the like button. It's much appreciated. Guys, ask me questions. I'd love it if I got the occasional chart. It's been just since someone sent in a chart. Feel free to send it in. Honestly, it took JJ off my watch list. I don't get much win rate. Yeah, that's fine. That's good of you for realizing that, because a few of the guys said to me they don't trade JJ anymore because it worked out. It was a weakness of theirs when it comes to any of the trading pairs, that they were taking more losses on that than anything else. So that's fine. I'm really patient with it. I don't trade it as much as gold. And if they are presenting both with potential options at pretty much the same time, I tend to focus on gold. But again, less is more in this game, so by all means, mate, it's just being responsible. Should we stream NY on YouTube today? That's 100 US 30 just gives clean moves. Yeah, well, they've got a lot of volume, definitely. But the thing is, do you trade him though during London session? Because I'm not too convinced if it does have the volume during London session. You might know different because you trade him. I don't really look at it during London session to know. I do analyze it and look at it during the MI session, because some of the members trade it. NAS, those. Yeah, but that's the only time I really would focus on it at all. But again, you know more than me when it comes to it. Then that's your pairs to trade. What is the difference between logarithmic and auto? I have no idea. Because I've noticed some of the, when I used to be really into crypto and I used to follow some of them, they flick over always the logarithmic chart for whatever reason. I had no idea what the difference is. I personally cannot see any difference. If anyone knows, let me know. Might be a stupid question, but to me it looks the exact same shit. Alright, so 12.5 minutes left on this handle. Once again, we wait for its print and reassess. We've got London Open at the end of this candle, closure of this candle.
How are you enjoying Thailand, Justin, compared to Australia?
Oh, I love it here. Just so much more chilled, so much more relaxed.
Yep.
Beautiful part of the world where we are. So right now it's more, I mean, it's landlocked where I am. Kind of in a jungle, but a city in the jungle.
Yep.
That's beautiful, mate.
I think yesterday you were saying it's pretty tough to get visa there, like citizenship over there.
Yeah, well, in the future, something to think about. Reason being is, especially if Oz might be cracking down on on Forex trading.
Yep.
If that's the case, then I'm not going to have much of a choice but to try and get permanent residency. Disappointing because I feel that it's just about control again. And what they'll do is use the excuse that people are losing so much money. Yeah, because a lot of people would be, because they have no idea how to manage risk. But it just, for the rest of us, it just destroys it. It's not fair.
Yeah, it's the same thing in India as well. You can't trade foreign pairs in Forex. It's illegal. Actually, what I'm doing is illegal.
Oh, really?
And you can trade only Indian pairs like USD, INR, and like certain Indian pairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't trade foreign pairs.
So maybe that's what I might do in Oz as well. How do you get around that? Do you use a VPN or?
No, there are many brokers who are listed up in Dubai.
All right, you just go through that.
Yeah, so they send the money through cryptocurrency like that,
Yeah.
Many people do it, but I don't have to show that I'm making this income from Forex. Not me, as I'm not doing it currently, but whoever is making income, they don't need to show that it's coming from Forex. They can just start a business account and then show
yeah. There's ways around it, but still, it's just inconvenience. It should be more straightforward. It should be easier.
Yep.
But yeah, live beer is much better. Sorry, mate.
They just introduced the budget also like a month and a half back. Even they've increased capital gains taxes also.
Yeah, Australia do the same. Trying to make money back for the COVID lockdowns and that.
Yeah. Brokers earn more money than investors,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of crap, to be honest, but not much we can really do about it.
Many guys are moving to Dubai right now from India who are doing very well, who are making like $50,000-$100,000 plus.
Yeah, well, it's a help for a lot of Forex traders, Dubai. I think Singapore's another good country in regards to Forex friendly. I don't think they even charge taxes on it. I think residents of certain countries find it quite easy to get citizenship there. I'm pretty sure as an Aussie, it's not that difficult for me to get a permanent residency.
Okay.
So who knows? Maybe that could be another option. At least it's closer to here as well.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll see. See what happens. It's just look, nothing might happen, but the article I read was very daunting. Did not like what I read, basically. It said that ASIC and Australian regulators are going to crack down on retail Forex trading because of the amount of people continue to lose.
Yeah. But how are the brokers there in Australia? They're like reputed?
The best in the world. Under ASIC regulations, it's probably the strictest regulations. A lot of the main brokers based in Australia, IC markets. I wonder, I think they're an American broker, but they've got an Aussie branch as well. Pepperstone Aussie broker.
Okay.
A lot of the major ones.
How about the blueberry markets? Like I just heard about it yesterday.
I always was under the impression they were fine, but I don't know. People were saying they're dodgy, so.
Okay.
But if that's the case, then they're not ASIC regulated because it would not happen with ASIC regulations. It's the strictest pretty much in the world. The regulations in Australia.
The regulations are strict even with the Aussie pairs or just the other currencies?
Just in general. Just in general with trading.
Alright.
On any of the brokers. Next, good morning to you, mate. Sorry. Indices moved decent during pre-London. Big Daddy. After London Open, lots of volatility, though, during MI session. Okay. Yeah, in my session especially. I remember also looking at D40 at one point for it to potentially trade during the lunge session, seeing that's probably the main indice of this session. Who knows, maybe you should start looking at it a bit again. Franco, good morning to you, brother. Hope you're well. Alright, so gold, like I mentioned, not so keen on selling it after upon continuation after such a big move. It's already 100 and almost 120 pips. I want to see some sort of exhaustion. It just makes me feel more comfortable. So if this, I'm not bothered if it closes below, but what I want to see prior to any entry would be minimum something like this. Weak bullish closure, and then I consider taking a sell as the next 15 broke low of that pause. And there's absolutely no confirmation for a buy right now. Yeah, it's not a 4-hour level as well. Not a level I consider any sort of impulse entry based off the purely off a level. By stepping into a level. One thing I don't.
Good morning, man.
Good morning, brother. How are you?
Fine. So was a little bit late. Was at the doctor this morning. So,
Hope everything's good.
yeah. So it's routine. So
Nice one. Yeah.
Verification of the blood.
Yep.
So did I miss something?
Not yet. Not at all. No, gold.
Okay.
Gold's moved, but no confirmation. This come from above support, so I wasn't interested in impulse entries. Closed well too far below. I was considering a limit order. Had this closed not so far down and had a lower wick, and this count just continued. So nothing.
Yeah, also no pause in between, right?
Nah, exactly. Absolutely none.
Yeah.
Not even on the 15. It's just straight drop. So bit difficult to jump into that. And GJ is just a very awkward level. That support is very solid to the left for our level.
Any news?
No,
This morning?
not supposed to be. Unless there's some breaking. Oh, what's this? I saw A.C.T. A.C.T cancels AFS license of retail OTC derivatives. You sure? Yeah, they're really starting to crack down on it. They're going through all the brokers and that. I think it could be a good thing in a way, because they weed out all the dodgy ones by doing it.
Is this an Australia issue?
Yeah, they're really cracking down in Australia. I mentioned yesterday what I read, the article was not good for retail traders. Too many people losing money. People want their money back. There's been class actions against brokers to get money back, but the thing is, it's every person should be wary that whatever money they place into an account, they could potentially lose it. There's no guarantees. It's not the broker's fault unless they're clearly, doing dodgies or whatever. But you lose a trade, you lose a trade. Not the broker's fault.
That's correct. So this was not some influence of the broker that
No, not that I know of. I mean, apparently some are dodgy. Blueberry, some people are saying they're pretty dodgy. I never knew. I thought they were okay. Apparently not. But yeah, like otherwise, really the investor's fault more than anything, because maybe they're not, weary enough or knowledgeable enough about risk management, and they're over risking and things like that.
So that means they are crying after they lost their money.
pretty much, and it's going to make it difficult for people like me, likely.
Yeah, and what are the consequences there in Australia?
Well, they just said they're considering heavier restrictions.
Okay.
So unless what they're going to do is go through the brokers and just make sure they're not doing the wrong thing. Maybe that's what they're going to do. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What restrictions they place, I don't know. They're going to want to see performance proof of, I mean, consistency, whatever.
So for me, my understanding is that they wanted that every Australian broker have to be accordance to the A.C.T. Oh?
Yeah, which is fair enough. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I understand. But there are also brokers which are not according A.C.T, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some exactly not yeah, some aren't within the regulations of A.C.T. They're not. So I think they're trying to weed out those dodgy sort of brokers. Julio, good day to you, mate. So it's London Open now, guys. GJ, not bad. At least tap into that support. So it could be potential options to buy it moving forward. Gold, it's closed way. I mean, it's pushed way too far for me to look for a continuation sell at the moment. So I'm just waiting for that pause. And that's it.
Okay. GJ is also nothing.
Yeah.
So completely consolidation what I see right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, GU. Sorry, GU.
Yeah, GU's not looking much better. And the only potential thing is a limit order, but the thing is, if this breaks the low of that candle, it's definitely not valid. Ooh. 5-minute pause play is there. Don't really take off the 5-minute, but that may have... Good to see it though, because it can give you the confidence to potentially look to take off the 5-minute. Something I use 15 and M30. Focus on the 15 M30. When the market's trading, the 5-minute would work in that instance. Limit order is very tempting at the moment because there is the volume, but I'm going to wait for the 15 pause. Just the safer play, because we've not had a pause whatsoever in price action. Now, what I want to see for the buyers, so we can plan for that as well, guys. This 15 closes, let's just say as is, followed by the weak pause. Once again, with form resistance, then back above support. The M30 is going to close back above that support as well. Next M30, all wick. Enter as it breaks the high of that bearish candle. That would be the buy option. And for the sells, want this candle right now. They're not closing a weak bullish candle. And if that's the case, the next M15, I could potentially look for a sell. So that's now my focus, those two potential options. DJ, good thing is it's now made a decent move down, so could we get the buys from this level? Remains to be seen. One thing I don't like here is, tell you what, these things. Bananas. I swear they're different here. They're like, they taste powdery or something. I don't know. Like they're too sweet.
What are the other cuisines you like to have over there?
Sorry, what?
What are the other kind of food you enjoy eating in Thailand?
Love most of the Thai food, man. I mean the main, apart from the papaya salad, which I don't, it's okay, I can eat it. I don't really enjoy it that much though. Then there's so many variations of that. The one they eat here is very different again. That's not, most people won't be able to stomach it here. You probably could, assuming a lot of your food's quite spicy as well. I like spice, it's fine. The number one dish is like either a pork or chicken stir fry, mince stir fry with like a herb and a lot of chili and garlic, and it is, oh, it's so good. So good. It's pretty much a national dish. Pad Thai is, no one eats it here. No one eats it. Everyone thinks Pad Thai, but no one, it's so hard. Yeah, you don't see Thai people eating it.
What about the other street food, like in that stick kind? They have the different kind of insects.
Yeah, that's all good. Most of it's very, I mean, it tastes good. Not sure if it's that good for you, but
yeah,
the street food's great here.
Nice.
And you don't get sick from it.
Okay.
So,
Which area are you based in currently?
what area?
Yeah, no, the city.
Called Udon Thani, so it's northeast.
Nice.
It's right near Laos, actually. It's not far from the capital city of Laos, Vientiane. It's about 40-minute drive to the border, and from the border is like 10 minutes or 15 minutes into the capital city of Laos.
Nice.
That's a cool area. Sorry?
You're staying in Airbnb right now?
No, this is my house, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah, this is my house.
Nice. I saw the photos, looking really good.
Yeah, it's nice. Cost me
nice.
quite a lot. No.
Yeah.
The weather conditions, things don't last long here.
Okay.
Extremes, the rain, the heat, the humidity.
If I'm not wrong, you were staying elsewhere, right? Like on the first week when you had
Yeah, I was beachside.
Yeah.
In the first week. That was a condo.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a rented condo. That's right now I'm in the house.
Nice. Do you have some friends over there?
Yeah, quite a few actually. There's some foreigners, some local Thai people as well. Yeah, no Aussie friends though. They're all from elsewhere.
Like Aussie people over there, and you prefer?
There's quite a lot, but they're not so much in my area.
Okay.
They're more beachside, sorry, not suburbs, beach cities. All the islands and that. Not really where I am. It's a lot of English, it's French, a lot of Germans.
People.
Sorry?
Like the retired families, they come there to,
Yeah, a lot. I love tamarind prawns over there. lobster and prawns.
Oh.
To be honest, I'm not a big fan of prawns. I've never really liked prawns much. Prawns or shrimp. With I don't mind them in a stir fry, but barbecued or whatever, it's just like rubber to me.
I'm actually a pure vegetarian.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother is too, but I can't. I need my meat.
So in my religion, I'm not supposed to eat non-veg. So yeah.
Yeah, fair enough, mate.
And I also personally, I don't know, because I've not eaten. No, I don't know. It feels weird to have some other.
Yeah, that's
living.
fine. Yeah, that's fair enough.
My uncles eat. My uncle, aunt, cousins, all of them have. But yeah, just my family.
That's fair enough. It's a good lifestyle to lead. It's probably healthier.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, nah, for me, I definitely need my meat. I mean,
Yep.
here they need their rice. Rice is with everything.
Yeah, here as well. Rice is a day-to-day thing.
It's like I have bread because I like to have my eggs and that, and more high protein breakfast start there. And how can you not have rice? They look at me like that's not going to fill you up. And just how it is where we are.
I crave to eat steak and scrambled eggs. I love the visuals of it, but I won't. Whenever I see the
That tastes
sizzling
good.
steak, yeah, it's like very tempting.
Can imagine. Well, I'm gonna lie, it does taste good.
Okay. Is it worth the hype, huh?
But say again, sorry.
Is it worth it to try steak?
A good quality steak, yeah. I think it's really good. I mean, we're lucky in Australia. We have some really good quality beef.
Yeah.
Here it's okay. It's a bit hard to find. But I mean, it's not visually appealing here
Okay.
because you get it from the market more so than anywhere else, and we've got it on the tables and we've got flies around it, and
Yeah.
most people were too precious, but for me, I know what it's like, and I don't get sick from it, so I still eat it just the same.
Yep. You have just one meal or 2 meals a day, or how do you do your diet generally?
To be honest, here I'm a bit all over the place. Generally, I try to have a few protein shakes just to keep the uptake protein, but it's hard to compare to what I do at home.
Yep.
Just depends. Usually at least 2, sometimes 3 with some snack in between. But at home, it's always like 3 proper meals and then in between.
Nice.
Alrighty guys, so don't stress it. There is nothing right now. We've still got, first of all, 3 minutes for the first part of both options to set up. DJ, well, the 15 is looking okay, but if it's to close bullish like so, then you probably, what I want to see is a very weak pause on the next candle. And it's still going to close the M30 for long to the downside, closing back up close to its high. That may just be enough to look for a buy option on GJ. Gold, I really want it to now, well, considering above that support, unless it does reject and close weak bullish, I'd want it to, if it is to close stronger, I'd want it to close up near its high, followed by a weak pause, and then we can look to buy it on the next M30. So we'll see. If gold rejects, then we could get the sell options in just over 2 minutes. But at this rate, looks like it more likely to close back above.
Hey Justin,
Good day, mate. How are you?
good day. I'm alright. How about you?
That's good. All good, my friend. All good. What are you looking at today?
Currently, GU is a mess, and
Yeah.
G have had an early push up, It's currently back at the
Support.
open. Now it's back at the support and at the open of the daily candle. So looking to see if it will be creating some
Support here.
some support here to push back up, hopefully.
Yep. Good level to look for a buy, and it is bullish.
Yeah.
Yep. Looks pretty good actually, GA. If he gives you a signal, but you looking at the 2 hour, aren't you?
Sometimes I look at it, especially GA, I look at it sometimes on the 1 hour. Like yesterday, I did have an opportunity on it, though I didn't take it because it was late in the evening
Okay.
for my time. So
Yep.
I'll see what happens.
That's it, mate. But it's at a good level, so potential for options.
It had a really good breakout.
Yep. Nice strong impulse.
But yeah, let's see if that level holds.
Looking for the sell. Yep.
Yeah, because if the level doesn't hold, it can still provide options for some
downside. Yeah.
Yeah, downside.
Yep, agreed. Of the hour, that's your current range.
Yeah. For Ali, that's the current range. So let's see what happens.
Yep. Oh, GJ, that's a very strong closure. Alright, we'll see. The issue now might be you might not have the margin. Well, there still is about 20. Nice closure on gold. That's really nice. So now I'd like to see a weak bearish closure on this one. This M15, and then I'll be looking for a buy on the next M30 candle. Just give me a... I'll be back in like a minute, guys. Won't be long. All right. Gold looking good. I like this. So now we just want it to close weak bearish. That will close the M30, still a strong bullish counter. And then we'll be looking at possible buy options on the next M30. Don't go anywhere, guys. And GJ could provide a very similar signal within price action. But if it's to be the case, my preference is gold. I always prefer gold. Similar to yesterday, bearish engulfing, all of a sudden the sells come back on the table. Yesterday we had a very similar scenario where we took the sells in the end. Was on GJ. We had a nice win on GJ. It was just here. Those of you do remember who were on stream yesterday. And we're looking for the potential buys if this candle, if this candle had closed back bullish above. Instead we got the engulfing bearish candle, and all of a sudden we turned our attention to the sells as this candle broke its own low. And that was easy trade. Yeah, nice win. So things can change very quickly. And if it closed weak bullish in the M30 below that support, close to its low, then the sells are still on the table again. It all comes down to where this 30-minute candle closes now. There's nice rejection on gold just now. So just over 8.5 minutes left. Maybe we could be looking at sells. What? But who knows, that could soon change to looking for potential gold buys. Putting it out there. As long as we remain below that support, we're preferring to sells. Good morning to you. Hope you're well. GJ looks a bit of a mess just now again. Next, seeing cells. Hopefully, if just doesn't melt. Yeah, I'm liking the cells as well. As long as it doesn't in the next 6 minutes flip bearish and move. Nick, all good, mate. How are you? Welcome. Dot, all good. Lots on. Yeah, I can imagine. You're back to London next week. Okay. The weather here has been fabulous, though. Oh, it's gonna be hard to get back to London then, isn't it? But as long as you've enjoyed it, so amazing. Nick, wanting some warm weather, might have to move to Highview. I thought it been quite warm back at, well, probably not Melbourne, but everywhere else in Australia, so for Melbourne and Tasmania, and Melbourne and Hobart. But hasn't it been like a record winter heat wave? Well, there was. No, winter's officially ended. Just got to move up north. That's where, if I'm in Oz, where I'd rather be. Yesterday, midday, hailstorms dropped to 8 degrees. Yeah, Melbourne, typical. Unless you're from Melbourne, you just don't understand. The weather is just so crazy. It's all over the place. It has no idea itself if it wants to be hot, cold, rain, sun, wind. You get absolutely everything. Sometimes all within like 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Me, London had 8-month winter from last year. Dot, yeah. Melbourne is similar, but it's not as cold as your winter, but still. Nothing like that here. The moment you wake up, I mean, overnight, it doesn't really drop below 25 to 27 most of the time, especially this time. I mean, the only time it does is pretty much December and January, where it can get a little bit chilly overnight, but again, nothing crazy. It's still for the most part quite warm. All right, let's see on gold. If it closes as is, I'm going to be looking for a sell on the next M30. Hourly looks pretty good as well. It flips and breaks zone low. It's going to need a upper wick on the new M30, and if it begins to break the low of the bullish candle, then I can look for a potential option. Now it's still going to be valid if this closes bearish engulfing the M15. Issue is, the issue is on either entry. The stop loss is going to be wide, so I would suggest going in with a smaller lot size And the reason why I would like to see an upper wick is because that will give me options to manage the trade. If it creates an upper wick of 10 plus pips or so, then I've got an option to manage the trade. If it triggers me in and begins to pull back, I can begin to cut partials or perhaps the whole thing if it broke its own high again. So based now off the engulfing candle. Now, if this engulfs by around 8 pips, I'm going to look for a limit order. So I've got a slightly better margin at that point, better stop loss as well. So for it to be valid off the limit order, okay. When it's close around 2.8, that's 7 pips below. 83 to 8. Well, anyway, looks like it's not going to do it, so don't worry about it. Alright, so we need an upper wick. And then continuation sells below low of the M30 is what I'm currently looking at. For the limit order to be valid, it needs to close at 2483.28 minimum. It doesn't look like it's going to do that. So get ready, guys. We want an upper wick. All right. And then 0.2, around 0.25, I'm looking to enter. And this is good. I like the fact that it's giving us an upper wick because it gives us ways to manage this trade. A lot of volume. Thing is too, the way that candle closed, we don't necessarily need to pull back that far if we were to continue bearish. Still gonna trust it though, but I'd want it to start pulling back shortly. Maybe tap into this zone, reject. And if it takes too long, and if it comes to like the last 5 minutes or so of the M15, there'll be, then I'm more likely to be waiting for is the closure in the M15. If it closed weak bullish, I'll put the sell option, I'll put the sells back on the table. The order. This is a strong pullback though, wow. GJ, so it's not a good close on the M30. Nothing on GJ. Wow, how's the volume? That's just in the first 2 minutes, it's popped up 23 pips. Yeah, I'm not sure if I like the look of that. Once again, normally that candle would suggest a gradual liquidity from the upside. We've engulfed in the M15 as well. What I normally see happen in this situation is, if anything, a small upper wick, and then this normally would break a lot of the previous candle, the catalyst candle, and quickly make the move. the way it's pulled back just now doesn't give me as much confidence. AU approaching a resistance. I'm likely about to remove the order, guys, and just wait for the 15 closure again. I'm not convinced by this pullback. Yeah, it's pulled back too far. I'm going to remove it. Alright, so we're waiting now for the 15-minute again. Because, again, normally in that situation, based off the way, especially the way in 30 closed, you'd expect a small upper wick and to be triggered into the trade quite early into the candle. Seeing it's taken quite a while to create the upper wick and it's created a significant one, I'm not as comfortable anymore, so I'm just going to remove it and wait for the 15 closure. If it goes, my decision to remove the order, I have to accept it. There's no dramas, no FOMO. What I prefer to see, and it could melt just now, and there's nothing I can do about it. Once again, it's a little bit of intuition as well, telling me just to chill a bit, chill for another 15-minute until another 15-minute closes. Paulius, good to see you. Been a while. Hope you're well. Appreciate the sub. Oh shit, I forgot to remove yesterday's trade taken. That's another thing too as a trader, or when you're trading. If you make a decision, be satisfied with it. So if you're not comfortable, like I am just now, and thought, no, I'll wait for the 15 closure again, just pull back a little bit too far. Just accept it and don't, if it starts to flip in what the initial direction of what your plan was, don't just say, oh no, shit, I better take it. Just stick to your decisions. If you say I'm removing it, I'm waiting for the 15, stick to it. Because that's another thing that I used to do years ago, and it used to get me caught undone. Make many errors based off that. So we really want this to close weak. I don't want it to close. Even this would be too strong of a closure. This is a bit better though right now. I'm gonna line it up again, just in case on the next M15 it gives me the option. All right, so I'm waiting just over 3.5 minutes. On a flip, if it goes, it goes, all good. JJ pushing again. Yeah, I'm still focused on gold though. Don't go now. So I gotta wait 2 minutes and accept it. If it goes, it goes. Now the next option, limit order sells at the floor of that bullish candle. Right now it'd be valid. Pretty much so. It needs to close. Low of that candle was 90. What is it? 98. So 28 roughly. If it closes around that point there, I'm going to set a limit order at low of that bullish candle. Your option is there's still margin, sell stop below, as long as the new candle has a small upper wick. So there are your two options. Potential limit order, if this candle closes around that horizontal that I've marked in. Otherwise, sells below low this rate. Like that could be a likely scenario. Be nice if it does drop to give the limit order option. So be ready, guys, if you are interested in taking a trade. So this rate, it sells below low. Prefer to have an upper wick. You've got a tiny one there. It's not ideal. The 30 minutes still open. I really want it to create the upper wick. I don't have one on my broker on the 15. If you guys have got one, then it's probably a valid entry. I don't have one IC markets. DJ is not engulfing's not strong enough. It's so stubborn. It's hovering around the open, but just hasn't created an upper wick just yet. Oh man, it's not going to do it, is it? There's your option. If you guys are going upper wick, sells below low. You'd be looking at, what is that, 85 as a potential entry. That's the current option. The 15-minute continuation, loaded pause. You shouldn't be in the trade. Shouldn't have triggered you in. There's a tiny upper wick on this. You're probably in now. Now the way would be to manage this trade is to get to break, if price broke its own high again, I'd cut partials at that point. Once again, I'm not in it because I'm being strict. I don't have an upper wick, so you're probably in it by now if that's more the case. So I definitely cut half. Now it's created the upper wick. So that's my concern when it doesn't have an upper wick. It could always pull back to create that upper wick. And now I trust it more. If it broke its own low again. You have to enter a little bit below the entry candles low. That is why I have that steadfast rule. I need a wick in the opposite direction because the amount of times I see it happen, it'll trigger you in and then it will eventually pull back to create your wick in the opposite direction. Unbelievable. It happens. I mean, if you look through all these candles, there's probably about 90+% have wicks in both directions. So that is why I prefer for it to actually have that wick prior to any entry. It's a tricky one because some of you may have had an upper wick, and if you did, I can understand why you took it. But IC markets, those of you who have IC markets probably would have had the same thing as me. But right now, I'm likely going to have to wait because we're coming too close to the closure of the M30. If you are in the trade, consider managing it, seeing it is flipping back bullish. And there still could be an option to sell it on the next M30 yet again. Same scenario, if this closed weak bullish, or if it closed bearish engulfing on the M15, significantly below this bullish candle's low, and I'm going to look for that limit order again. It's just a matter of, it's fine tuning. That's all it is. That's all it is. Crow sell stop. I'm going to wait for the M30. Now, apologies if some of you are in, but again, I did say I'm not taking it because I had no upper wick. So 7 minutes left of this hourly. I feel it's in my best interest to wait for this hourly to close. And a good scenario right now would be if this closed that weak bullish pause below. And again, sell's going to be on the table on the next M30 and next hourly, below the M30 low, below the hourly low. Alrighty. Got 5 minutes remaining of this hourly. And the sells could be again an option. Alright, so the low on IC markets is 2482.81. I'm just gonna have the horizontals in place in case it presents for an option on the following candle. So I'll be looking around 65, 2482, 65. Again, same thing, needs an upper wick. Unless it's gone up wick, no entry. We saw what had just happened then without the up wick. So we're looking at potential sells on the next hourly, next M30. In the next 3 minutes, if this thing drops, closes bearish engulfing, not a bad option as well for the sell. Could have the limit orders back on the table as well. Just a matter of now waiting for this candle to close. I'm not going to get involved 2 minutes and 45 seconds prior to the hourly close. I'm just going to wait.
Hey Justin,
Yeah,
I have a quick question.
yeah, go for it.
What's your take on let's say you have a candle, right, that doesn't have a lower wick, but it closes properly, and then on the next candle, what do you think about the trade on the next candle that opens maybe properly with a lower wick?
So let's just say this candle has no low wick, and next candle opens, you're talking about pulls up and then drops.
This candle that you just pointed out, let's say it doesn't have an upper wick.
Yep. I wouldn't take it as well. I wouldn't take it because again, I've been burnt too many times from it. So I want the candles to have wicks in both directions.
Good, because the reason I was asking, it's so many times I see a candle that closes like that. Like this one opens without an upper wick and just moves.
Yeah.
And closes. You see the next candle turns to go back and kind of create that upper wick.
Yeah.
For the previous before coming down.
Yeah, exactly. And then sometimes it's trigger in and pops straight back up again though. Yeah, so I prefer the candles to leave wicks in the opposite direction. I prefer the next candle to create a wick in the opposite direction. Alright, what's the low of this candle? So once again, for the limit order to be valid, we need to close about 7 to 8 pips below this candle's low. And at this rate, it doesn't look like it will be valid. Got to shift the entry point down as well on the potential sell upon continuation to around 55. This rate, but that could change because it looks like, yeah, shit, it's creating a low. All right, it needs to drop like another 3 pips roughly for it to be valid limit order. Otherwise, below the low. Get ready, guys. It needs an upper wick. And limit orders. How much you can do with that? It needs to pull back, crane upper wick.
There goes your entry.
It's just, it's fine tuning it, trying to get to absolute perfection. And sometimes it's not going to give you the option, and that's part of trading. It is what it is. So even to set the order, because I will never set an order until I've got the counter closure. Never ever. And in this situation, it just moved way too quick. There is no way of me getting involved. Some people execute based off the counter closure. They'll just set the entry, which is fine if it works for them, but it's not for me. It's not how I trade. I rather wait for the confirmation. In this case, not much I can do about it. Limit orders off the table as well, guys, because it's already broken low of that candle's candle. And that is trade. That's Forex. I mean, you can be basically stalking an entry, and sometimes you miss it. So the plan's correct. The idea is correct. Sell options, but there was no way of me getting involved in that. GJ, nah, not interested. Not interested at all on GJ. We're close below the resistance on the 15. There's no real catalyst on that. It's not clean. It's bearish in the M30 as well. I'm not going to take it on this candle. Hourly looks alright, but I just don't trust it, to be honest. I'd rather miss this move and look to sell from higher up. So now it's pulling back credit for you, but it's the fact of the matter is it's pushed too far to the downside. So in this situation, what I prefer to see is, you guys, I mean, regularly will know, if it breaks the low, it's not a problem. But we don't want to break the low and push like 15 pips or so, because then it's got to travel too far to break its own low again to get involved. Breaks this low by a few pips or whatever, and then pulls back up to create the upper wick. I just set the sell stop lower down, below the entry candle. But it so happens to be in this instance, it's dropped. Let's just measure it. Yeah, it dropped 18 pips in a second. It's all well and good when you're in it, on the winning side, but when it tags you in and moves the opposite direction, then you're kicking yourself saying I should have waited for the upper wick. So it is what it is. That's, again, it's all part of it. Yeah, so right now on gold, to be honest, I think the sell options are exhausted. Upon continuation, I mean, the next sell options are likely going to be upon the pullback. Potentially the 30-minute could still pull back. We've already retested it and rejected 24.85, but it could make it an actual proper pullback now on the M30, and we may have a few bullish candles closing below that point at 24.85, and we could look for a rejection for a sell, or potentially buys from lower down. That's probably the next scenario I'd be looking at. Seeing it's tapped into a 4-hour support. The level price is tapped into multiple times to the left. It's also a previous resistance, so it's a key level that it's at. Sam, sorry, didn't saw that. How are you? All good. There is a hammer candle on the left. Is that one making it hard for M30 candles to melt down? Were you talking about that one? Possibly. That was a really quick move though, wasn't it? And pretty quick to come back up. Yeah, what can you do? Pretty boring stream in the end. Talking gold, but just didn't quite get the entry. If anyone did take the early trade, you would have eventually hit TP, but you would have been in a fair bit of drawdown prior to it. But again, for me, it wasn't an entry because I had no upper wick. And that's about it. Is there any questions, guys? Feel free to ask. I have a question. Should I stream for NY on YouTube? Next. Yes. Well. Yeah. Definitely have to think about it. Zode? 100%. Alright, I'll see. I don't even know if I've got a thumbnail in my session. Alright, I'll see how I go. If I'm not too buggered, then I will pop on in my stream. Yeah, hopefully it's alright for the members. Alrighty guys. I think I'm gonna call it because I'm not gonna get anything just now. That was the entry on gold. Left the train left the station without me. Not much I can do about it. GJ is just a mess. Be very careful with GJ in this situation. I know from experience. It's out to trigger you into trades, put you in drawdown, look like it's going to go back your direction, puts you in more drawdown. With closed partials, you get happy because it goes back in a bit of profit. Keep it open and it just melts and takes you out, whatever. It's just so eerily familiar right now on GJ. So when it's like this, I'd rather just leave it alone. Let it start to move again a bit. Don't jump into trades that are less probable. So that's about it, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up. Just the patience, tough one, but anyway, doesn't end in any result in the end. But all good. So keep an eye out. If you're not following me on IG, I suggest to do so because you'll get the updates. I will post on there if I'm gonna go live for MI. And once again, if anyone would like to know more about services, feel free to send us a message. VIP is open. Good group of traders we're building. I still do private coaching, not so much anymore though, but if anyone is interested in it, feel free to send me a DM. Cheers guys, all good. Appreciate the support. No worries, Franco. Cheers.
See you later then.
For sure.
See you, Justin.
See you, okay. See you, mate. I'll see you guys later. YouTube.
Bye.
Yeah, no worries.
See you, man.
Cheers guys. YouTube, if I likely will jump on MY, but if I don't, I'll see you tomorrow. So until then, take care, trade safe, don't do anything stupid, and I will see you guys either later today or tomorrow on YouTube. Cheers. Bye guys.